Hello and welcome to the Gentle Guide to Digital for Executives. I'm Chris and I'll be walking you through the guide. The point of this guide is to give you an understanding of how technology, specifically code and applications, work and why this is important to you. One of the comments that I've heard from colleagues is, as an executive, I have 99 problems and none of them that I don't know how to code. So this is absolutely true, but of your 99 problems, I'm willing to bet 50 or more do relate to technology. Every single piece of work that you do is enabled by technology today. And if it isn't, your clients are. What this means is that if you don't understand technology, if you don't understand how technology works, there's a very good chance that you don't actually understand the problems that are facing you. You don't understand your challenges, and you definitely don't understand the potential solutions that are out there. So the objective of this guide is to give you an understanding of a thing called computational thinking. And really what this means is how computers work, how code works, and how applications work. Now we're going to be doing this in a very simple way. We're going to be building very, very slowly little bits of code to understand what these individual blocks, and the blocks of Lego behind me are there for a reason, because this is how code works. You have very simple pieces, a square that you put on top of another piece, that you put on top of another piece, and by layering piece upon piece, you can achieve amazing things. And this is how all applications work. The applications on your smartphone, the AI things that are out there that people are talking about, applications on your desktop. Everything is built of these very, very simple building blocks, layered one on top of the other. So we're going to go through and we're going to show you how a lot of these very simple blocks work. And then by the end, we'll put a number of these blocks together and we'll have done something pretty amazing with it. So thank you for joining us on the guide. This first episode is really walking through and getting ourselves set up. So that's what we're going to get into now. I'm going to turn over to the screen and we'll just kind of look down. So what we have here is a thing called a Jupyter Notebook. All right. A Jupyter Notebook is pretty amazing. It's an open source piece of technology, and what it allows you to do is to run code in your browser. So there's a Python kernel that's running in the background, but you can actually run little bits of code like a program or even a full program in your browser, and you can make changes to it. And this is amazing for a number of reasons. One, it's very accessible. It means you can explore. You can run a single line of code, see that it's not doing exactly what you want it to do, rerun it, see the result of that, and tweak and experiment and explore in a really, really fascinating way. And this has enabled a lot of the data science and a lot of the amazing work that's happening around our world. It's also extraordinarily shareable. You can take or save a notebook, you can share it with somebody else or put it up online, and anybody else with the same data can reproduce your steps exactly. They can go through, see everything that you've done. You can annotate why you've done it or the changes you made or the decisions that you made. They can understand that, run the code, and they will get exactly the same results. So for experiments, for testing, this is amazing. And it's one of the things, in my opinion, that has really enabled data science and open source learning around data science to flourish these days. So that's one of the tools we're going to be using. The second is Python. So Python is a programming language. It's actually named after Monty Python. And Python is one of the first languages that was designed for simplicity and for elegance. So what this means is Python is very, very easy to understand. Even people that don't know how to code can look at Python code and generally understand what it's trying to do, because really it looks a lot like English. There's not a lot of strange symbols involved, and they've really taken steps to make sure that the language itself is parsable, is comprehensible to people. In addition, Python has a number of principles, including things like a focus on simplicity. So all of this has come together to make Python one of the most popular programming languages in the world today, and also a fantastic language for learning to code and learning in general. So we're going to be using Python. You've got a great video behind you, and we'll look at a piece of Python code here now. So I've already got it highlighted on the screen, but it says if ate breakfast, and we just ran that code by accident. So if ate breakfast, ate_breakfast, which is one of the ways that Python just kind of puts different words together to form a single element. So ate breakfast is one thing, it's not two. Equals, and Python uses two equal signs to demonstrate equality, false. Print, you must be hungry. So I'm sure you can look at this and you can say, all right, so if ate breakfast is false, if you didn't eat breakfast, then print, you must be hungry. This is, it sounds like just something that I might be saying or writing here, but this is actually working Python code. Assuming you have a variable called ate breakfast that appears before this piece of code, it will do exactly that. If the variable is false, it will print you must be hungry. If the variable is true, it will do nothing at all. So this goes to how easy Python is to understand and why we're using it as the base of this tutorial. So now we're going to hop into getting running. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up a new browser. We're going to go to GitHub and Topher, which is me. And the link is actually just down below the video. But if you want to just type it in, you can see it up here. It is https://github.com//Topher/digital-4-executives. And that'll bring you to this page. This GitHub is a code repository. It is based off an open source platform called Git, and it basically allows programmers to work together on pieces of code without stepping on each other's toes. The impact of this is pretty phenomenal, because whereas in the past it was very tricky having multiple people working on a single code base without a lot of coordination, Git enables people to do that with very little friction. And people tend to build and track and coordinate tremendous amounts of work on this. So on GitHub, you might have a project with 1 or 2 or 10 or 100 or even 1,000 developers, and they're all able to work together. This is a huge part of the power of open source, these communities, and we're leveraging that here. So looking at this GitHub repository, which is what it's called, we're going to scroll down and we're going to click on the button here that says Launch Binder. So we click on it and it opens Binder, which is another open source application that will allow you to run a Jupyter notebook in your own browser while having the Python kernel running on a cloud server. So we're using really cutting edge cloud technology here through a button click. And now what you see on your screen, this is now live, it's open, and away we go. So from here, we're going to click on Demystifying Code. And now running in your own browser is a Jupyter notebook with a Python kernel running Python 3 code that we're going to use to start to dive into. So we're going to stop here. Please join me for video 2 when we start getting into the actual code, and we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.